So I said that parents left a vacuum when we didn't supply our own values. Here's what I mean. It's really important that your kids know, in this house, we believe the following. Whatever you're going to hear at school, you're a girl, you're my daughter. And believe it or not, that was enough to arrest this in most young girls. That's why it hit liberal families so hard, because they tended to approach this with greater open-mindedness when their kids came home. That's one of the things I learned. People who said to their, and by the way, why it hit the affluent, the upper middle class so hard, the hyper-educated, they tended to be much more ambivalent about what they thought about those things, and nuanced as they thought of it. But actually, very often, the kid was just testing. And if the parent just said, no, honey, I'm not going to call you that. You're my daughter. You're always going to be my daughter. Every cell of your body is an X, is marked with XX chromosomes and whatnot. That was often enough to convince a 12-year-old. Now, in cases where a young teen had already proceeded down this route for some time, I have seen success stories in which parents completely remove that child from her social world. But it's hard to do today when the internet follows you. You have to get involved and shut down those identities online. You have to shut down the social media accounts in which the kid is saturating in this new name and new identity and hearing it over and over. They're reifying it. And the parents who go along with it, they often think, oh, well, but she promised me no medicalization. I hear that a lot. But don't worry, she promised me. The girl always does it, almost always. It's the moment they get a chance. And I've seen parents who had their daughters sign contracts and promised they wouldn't do it when they went off to university, and of course they did it within the first year. And look, I don't want to sound all-knowing. I didn't know this either until I interviewed them. It's not like it was obvious to me from the get-go. It wasn't. But this is what I learned from parents who've had their lives ripped apart by this.